Well, hello and welcome everybody to another special episode of Staffing Sharks Review It. We talk about the real scoop in the staffing industry. I'm here with my co-host and sidekick, John. How you doing, John?
I'm good, Richard. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, anytime. And our special guest today, Rick Richard from StaffUpApp. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing great. That was a great intro. I don't know if you watch that often with yourself, but that's a pretty spectacular, coming right at you.
Got the blood going.
I created it myself, so of course I watched it probably 4,000 times already.
Good job.
Hey, thank you so much on that. But we have an exciting show today. I'm going to tell everybody this app, John, Rick created. I mean, I'm telling you, it's something that is taking off, and it's so robust, so simple. I can't say anymore. But Rick's going to take us into it. So, Rick, right off the bat, tell us a little bit about your history, how you got this rolling with this app.
So, background-wise, I own also a development company. We build a lot of mobile apps for different firms. We built, the Motorola Wi-Fi series app. We built Nike's 2016 Rio Olympics app. We built apps for OHSU. We built a lot of apps for small businesses and larger companies as well. Over the last 10 years or so, firms started asking me, can you build us our own custom app? But after they saw the price tag, and the amount of time that would take, most would shy away. So I decided, I think we can build this, make it brandable, and make it a subscription based so that the cost is insignificant and it keeps growing. So in a lot of ways, it's much better than building it yourself. Because once you have it built yourself or go to a contracting company, you've got to then rehire that company to add on to it, build it, tweak it, adjust it. But with a SaaS-based product, we're constantly evolving our product. We take lots of feedback from firms, clients, and we always integrate it into the app if it can be applicable to everyone. And it's grown. The app has really become quite a bit more than it was when it first started. And that's our philosophy, is to keep growing it and improving it along the way.
How long has the app been out, Rick?
It's about 3.5 years now. About 3 years been selling it.
Okay, cool.
And it's compatible with a lot of the big dogs in the industry, right, Rick?
Yeah. So we have deep integration with Bullhorn. We do. You can use our service through most of the Bullhorn console. You can launch your onboarding. You can make adjustments to lots of the app from Bullhorn, as well as Job Adder. Then we have other integrations with most ATSs, from Sequel, Aviante, TempWorks. Job Diva. So we have a lot of ATSs that we work with. As soon as we get a new client that has an ATS that we don't support, we just build it. So we if there's a third-party API to the ATS, we're there. We're absolutely going to build out and integrate with it.
I was going to ask, how difficult is it if you encounter an ATS that you are not integrated with currently?
So most ATS that support what's called a RESTful API, and it's public. They generally don't give you access to it unless you have a authentication token. So you got to go through that process. But if they have a third-party API available, it's a piece of cake. Really for the base configuration of putting down jobs, taking applications straight through from the app to your ATS, really straightforward. In fact, we generally say from start to finish, it's about 7 to 10 days to get your app branded, ATS connection, and into the app stores. And that includes a new ATS. If the ATS is particularly difficult, then it takes a little longer. Or if they have a authentication process that you have to apply for and have a little more hoops to run through, it takes longer. But the base app can be done in about 2 weeks.
Wow. That's pretty staggering.
Mm-hmm.
That to me seems really fast. So is that something where a company can have a functional app within 2 weeks, give or take, where they're able to have candidates, applying to jobs, onboarding, et cetera, through that? Or is that just kind of like, hey, that's the shell, then we got to build in the functionality that you want?
No, that's pretty much everything. So if we go deep into the ATS, like we do for Bullhorn and Job Adder, say you do an onboarding document through our app, that document can be uploaded to your ATS directly into the candidate's file folder. So that's an integration, it's an API integration that's required to do that. So with our base integration, we generally do that within that 2 week period. If there's more that we want to integrate with the ATS, then it might be a little longer. But so far, we haven't run into that. We're basically integrating deeper and deeper into each ATS we support. So by the time a new client comes on for an ATS we already have, it literally is just a day to get most of it up, and then it's filling out from there. If it's a new ATS, sure, it takes a little longer.
Sure. So for the folks that are watching and listening that are unfamiliar with StaffUpApp and that world of candidate apps in general, tell us about the functionality and why it's so value added to companies.
Yeah, so I'll tell you our overriding philosophy. First, we think the candidate experience is everything. Candidate experience gets you fast placements. It gets you, applies. It gets you your onboarding documents completed quickly. So it's just that whole ecosystem of how to present your app and what it does for you is really key. And mobile really lends itself well to this. So from start to finish, you can put in we pull your jobs down first of all. And there's no need for a candidate to go to your website or think they need to refresh the app. It's constantly being refreshed. If you make a change to your jobs in your ATS, we pull it down automatically. So there's no need for anyone to ever refresh in the app. Then they can apply directly from the app directly into your ATS. And we generally suggest that our firms do a short apply process, name, email address, and phone number. Really, we only need the name and email address to link it to the ATS. If you want to add more questions, you can certainly do that. Once they have this profile, they can then apply for any job in the app with just a couple of clicks. If they have a resume on Dropbox, iCloud, or anywhere else, it's just they pull it from their app, attach it, and sends it directly through to the ATS, where most ATSs will parse it automatically for them. And we also upload the resume into the ATS in the file folder. So, it's really streamlined and made for the way mobile users use their apps today and what they expect, really.
Oh, that's
I love
huge.
it. You know what's big about what he said, John, is the job seeker. From what I understand, Rick, I'm sitting back. If I was a job seeker, this is going to be easy to apply because I see it all the time in light industrial where they have so hard of a time applying for a job. And guess what they do? And me and Rick talked about this yesterday. They just leave. Pretty much, right? I mean, there's some big stats where if they can't complete the application, they're done. They're ghosting you and they're off. Yeah.
So there are a couple of drop-off points that are really interesting in the industry. I was recently read a statistic that was saying, of individuals who are actually offered a position, you get at least 20% drop-off. Of individuals who are filling out an onboarding process, you get about 20% drop-off. It's really crazy, right? Think about it. It's a simple process for most onboarding documents. So we present it in a really TurboTax-like fashion where, the questions are really easy to answer. No unneeded questions are there. We do conditional logic so that if you answered a previous question, it doesn't require you to answer following questions. Those aren't seen by you. There's validation, all that sort of thing, right? So we make the process really fast. And what's overlooked is the onboarding needs to be fast as well as the apply process. Because if they get an application process where it's lengthy or the onboarding process is too lengthy, then they drop off. So we make it as fast as possible, get them the onboarding documents wherever they are, get them to complete it quickly, send reminders out if we need to, and get that process completed as fast as possible.
When you mentioned the candidate experience, it made me happy because that is something that resonates now more than ever. It's all about that experience. And you're right. If folks, the better you can make that experience, the easier you can make it to do business with folks and to apply, then the more likely you're going to have that engagement with the candidate. So that's great.
You have so many more other benefits as well. Say if you have great experience, you're more likely to go back to that firm for your next position, right? You're more likely to send referrals. The system allows you to send a referral in like 2 clicks. You find the contact and you send a referral. We also connect with third-party referral programs like staffing referrals, right? So if you have your own deeper integrations to a staffing system, referral system, we can connect to that via API as well. So the candidate experience is where it all starts. There's no guarantee someone who is placed by you will come back to you, right? Or remember you in a referral. So that experience that they have with you the first time I think is key.
Oh, I love that part because I'm all about referrals. So you're telling me, Rick, that actually they could be at their house, fill out an application, and their friend could say, hey, can you refer me? Right there, they can refer somebody.
Oh, nice. Absolutely. So we recommend you do this. Say you're an engineer. Like my background is in software engineering. I used to get requests from recruiters to, do I know anyone who fits this position? So the first thing we tell people to do is, your recruiter should tell your candidates, hey, not only put alerts in for the job you're interested in, but put alerts in for jobs that you think are near you. Like, as a software engineer, I knew product managers, I knew QA people, I knew graphic artists, right? So now if you've got a good referral program in your firm, and you want those type of positions also, you basically have everyone put those keywords in. They get alerts when those positions are available, and they simply do 2 clicks away, and they've sent a referral to a friend and get a quick and easy referral.
Wow, great technology built into that. Smart too, because I mean, every recruiting firm thrives on referrals. So any way that you can make that easy and allow your candidate base to do the work and the marketing for you, that's huge.
Yeah.
Well, just think, John, if you're at a picnic and you're applying for a job and you have all your friends around and 6 of them are looking for a job. Man,
or Richard, potentially at a wedding reception.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. I could use this app at a wedding.
Richard's been known to recruit some people at wedding receptions.
Yeah, Rick, I go to wedding receptions, and usually I get a client and candidates.
What we find is that, not only is a job referred, but the firm is also referred. So we have at the front menu of the app, instead of just referring a job, you can refer the whole firm. Say, hey, I like this firm. They might do a good job for you as well. So it's a slightly different referral process, but just as fast. And it leads to a lot of firms getting a lot of recommendations just to work with them because they've done a good job and the candidate likes the experience they've had with them.
What kind of industry verticals, Rick, are you seeing the largest adaptation for your technology, or is it like across the board? So
good question. No, it is across the board. Light industrial is really doing well now. In fact, one of our clients, Light Industrial, recently told us that the number of hires they get from our app is as high as their job spend on job boards. At the cost is significantly low. I mean, we're a fraction of the cost of job boards. So and we're starting to see that a lot now. We're getting a lot of healthcare clients now, but it goes across the board. We have IT firms. So as you look at our site and you see our clients that we show on the site, or as you do a demo with us, we're showing you a range of clients that go from light industrial to healthcare to locums for physicians, and all sorts of clients. The app is configurable, has a lot of functionality that would apply to different industries. And so we're getting a lot of interest across the board.
Awesome. Not surprising.
I mean, and it's incredible. Some of the stuff, Rick, that we talked about yesterday, we can talk about today is again, like the recruiter's admin dashboard. I'm telling you, John, this is like the recruiter can go in there and just do everything on their phone while they're like at the pool or something. It's amazing.
Yeah, tell me about that. That piques my interest.
Well, so we do a couple of things. So first, we brand the app for staffing firms specifically. There's no mention of StaffUpApp really in the app anywhere. We take your logo, your color.
It's white labeled.
It's white labeled, exactly. But we go over the top. We make sure it looks great, first of all. So we take a lot of effort to the branding. But then we say, well, the candidate's not the only person who's going to use the app. The recruiters are going to use it. But they also want to be able to do things like approve timesheets easily. This is for the manager really and the recruiter if he's the approver. But so we make sure everyone has access to the app or a client dashboard that is easy to use. So say, for example, in case of timekeeping, it's a special dashboard they go to that only shows them clock-in times, times to be approved or rejected, and producing reports. So it's really easy for them to manage a timekeeping. We also have a dashboard for clients where they can do things like receive their own onboarding documents. So if you need to send client documents, they can receive it very similar to how a candidate receives onboarding documents on the app. The client can also request that you post new jobs for them, make that really an easy process. We do things like allow them to view a packet of resumes. So instead of sending your client a bunch of resumes individually, not knowing how to track them and what response you've gotten, the client dashboard allows them to see them all in a packet and can address each one, viewing all really simply and easily, and just facilitate them, interacting with the firm a lot easier.
Wow. So this is something, so your app is being used by the candidate, by the recruiter, and by the client.
Yeah, mostly it's the candidate and the client, and then the recruiters and the managers can use it for timekeeping. So it's very well tailored to the candidate and the clients.
That's awesome.
And we know in this day and age that everybody has a phone. So pretty much the app eliminates the going on the computer and all that stuff. I mean, you download the app in Google or iPhone and boom, here you go.
Yeah, we used to say, 3 years ago. So when we first really started selling the SaaS solution, we used to have to justify an app, right? This is only 3 or 4 years ago, right? So but now, we kind of make a comparison. Imagine if Uber didn't have an app, but Lyft did, right? And Uber used their website instead, right? This is no comparison. No one's going to be interested in using Uber if they didn't have an app. So it's just a way modern users expect to interact with companies they work with. We also used to say millennials, have an app because your millennial workforce. So upcoming millennials are going to really need an app or expect an app. But really, everybody has an app. I use my app more for banking than I do on my desktop, by far.
Yes. You are right, Rick. Middle-aged people like us use apps now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, you've got to adapt or get left behind, and that's that's just part of the equation. I agree. It's not just millennials, although they may have forced the rest of us to adapt to keep up. It's technology that everyone uses and everyone should be using. So,
Right.
So here's the $1 million question that I know you always get. I'm gonna put you on the spot. So there are competing apps out there that do similar functionality.
Sure.
How is StaffUpApp different, and what's your, what do you feel that you bring to the table that maybe some of your competition does not?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. So we have several competitors, and I think they have great solutions and great apps for where they promote their product. We don't really see ourselves as an on-demand app or a onboarding solution or a timekeeping solution. We look at it like it is the candidate experience. You can't really provide an app and then have a third party do onboarding. Provide an app and then provide a third party does timekeeping. We think it's that whole workflow of you put your postings on the app. They get alerts quickly for when there's a job they meet. They can onboard on the app. So you don't have to go to a desktop to do onboarding documents. All the onboarding documents are available on the app. A really neat packet, where they can go from form to form to form, encouraging them to complete it quickly, and then flow right into their timekeeping or communications with them via push notifications or even text messaging. We add enhancements to that only an app can really provide. Take texting, for example. Normally, when you send a text out, it comes in as a 10-digit number. You have no option. It has to be a 10-digit number or a short code, but basically it's a 10-digit number. We insert a contact into the app candidate's contact form so that when a text from your firm comes in, it doesn't come in as a 10-digit number. It's shown as text from the name of the staffing firm. So it's even more recognizable, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a small thing, but it's powerful, and you can only do it within your own app.
That's awesome. Great value adds. I love the fact, the mobile onboarding intrigues me. And I know that there may be additional steps. Like I know in healthcare, part of onboarding is, all the credentialing and verifications of licensure, et cetera. That, I don't know how much that can be integrated into the app, but even the pre-hire basic forms, to be able to do that seamlessly through an app and have that preloaded for them to complete, that saves a lot of time back and forth with emailing them forms, having to get them back, et cetera. That alone can speed up the process, I would imagine.
It is. And certain forms have a time restriction. I-9, for example. You've got to complete your I-9 3 days or so after hiring date, right? So you want that to be completed quickly. And then that process, fortunately and shockingly, the government allows the E-Verify system to be integrated. So we integrate directly with E-Verify. Right. So a person fills in an I-9 form, you can immediately send it to E-Verify and then get the response back. So it makes that process really short and sweet. So, it's not just completing a form. There's so much to completing forms, in that, one, the form's got to be quick and easy to fill out. It's got to be readily accessible to them. And so we send the form out via the app, but we also send that candidate an email that they can trigger the process from the email as well as the app, because you want to get them wherever they are. It's just a matter of getting them to complete the document, right? Everything else doesn't matter before that, right? So they complete the document, so we give them wherever they are, and then the process is short and sweet. We think that's super important in candidate experience.
And you know what he said real quick there, John, and I love that you're reaching out on both ends. And me and John talk about this all the time. Emails are fading away. I have so many candidates that said, I don't even check my email. So when you send the link for them to complete their application email, they're not getting it. So now here they have the app. They can get everything done there. And just think if you're another staffing firm right down the door and you're not doing this and you just got a link and you send it to their email. while I have the app and I'm just clicking away with candidates. You know what I mean? It's a win-win in my eyes.
Right.
Huge advantage. Absolutely. Again, especially in the contract staffing world, if you don't have a strategy to get on a mobile platform with an app, you are at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, I took some screenshots of the branded app for several of our clients. We take the time to make it really your app, right? You've got to, if you're presenting this app as yours, you want it to look 100% like it's your app, right? So we take a lot of time to brand it for you specifically, and then the process that seems so smooth. And I think, we don't want to overstate the candidate experience. I just think it's been super important up to this point, and now after COVID, I think it's even more important, right? Because you want to mine your candidate pool as you have it first, right? Short job boards are great; they're diminishing in their effectiveness, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to maximize all the places where you have access to these candidates. And your own pool is the first place you start. You want them to know instantly when you have something available. You want to communicate with them quickly, and in an app with push notifications is the best way of doing that. Couple that with texting, and then you're done. You've got a great way of reaching out to people.
And I love the branding part, John. What do you think? Did you see that? I mean, it's like
that's huge.
You're at the library or somewhere like that, and they see the logo of the Shark or John's company or any other staffing firm. They're only going to have one logo on there, right? I mean, they're going to have 20 different apps from different staffing firms. Seriously.
Well, and a company, you want your logo on there. I don't want someone opening it up, for example, and it's saying StaffUpApp, because if I'm a company, I want my brand out there. So the fact that you can white label that and customize it to appear, whether it's a logo, whether it's certain color schemes, et cetera, then again, I think that's almost a must nowadays. If you're going to have an app, you've got to have it conveying your brand of your company out there, because that's what you want people seeing, and you want that name to be embedded in their mind. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it gives you a great way of combating against, Indeed now with their Flex product, others that are more kind of marketplaces where they're trying to get a lot of users into their branded app, not the staffing firm's app. Every firm really kind of needs to compete with these guys moving forward. It's not as well known now, as not as much of a threat, as it will be. But companies like Indeed have this massive candidate pool, right? They have the staffing firm's candidate pool, and they're farming it. They're sending out, their Indeed Flex. They want to target those people, so they want to close positions quickly. Firms have to compete in some way. If it's not StaffUpApp, they got to do it some other way. But you're going to have to compete with the Indeed Flexes. Of course, Uber was in it for a little bit, right? And they got out. I don't believe they're out permanently. I think staffing is very lucrative. I think Uber with their Uber Works will be back in some form. I know there's others out there as well. I recently even heard TikTok is doing some.
Oh my gosh!
Something like that, right? It's like, I mean, come on, it's coming at staffing firms at all angles. But
yes, it is.
But by nature, staffing firms will always be there, right? Because that relationship is strong, right? But it doesn't mean you're going to be the staffing firm that candidates go to, right? So you got to kind of be ready and compete in this new kind of technology arena.
You have to give them a reason to want to go to you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How do you now when a company uses your service, takes your business and puts the app together to represent them, do you counsel them on what metrics they should measure to guarantee an ROI on that investment?
So we don't look at it like that. We do have our marketing tips that we provide them based on experience from other firms. We're not marketers. We're going to try to be marketers. We're certainly not going to tell a staffing firm how to promote themselves, better than they already know how to do. We don't have that background, but we know what works, right? We know what other firms are getting great success in. So we try to make all of that general and then give you tips, little things like starts with your recruiters just mentioning, hey, did you download our app? You should download it and put in your keywords. As soon as something's available, you know about it. Things like that, right? Give them a short pitch to say to your candidates that's specific to you. It might be different in every industry. Like industrial may promote it a little differently than healthcare does. Mm-hmm. You do things like we give you a QR code so individuals don't have to go to the app store, look for the app. They just point their phone camera to the QR code. It'll take them to the app store appropriate for their device, right? Directly to your app. So there's you eliminate little things that are normal barriers. When you get them to download your app quickly. And then you do some of the other marketing things. You're always mentioning your referral programs. You'd be amazed at how many staffing firms have a $500 referral program and don't really promote it. Firms used to do this when I was an engineer, and they would think because we're engineers and we have such a high salary, we wouldn't care about a $500 or $250 referral bonus. But if it takes 10 seconds to send a referral, who wouldn't do that, right? And literally 10 seconds in the app. So promote the heck out of your referral programs. Send out push notifications that talk about if you're having a special or if there's something unique about a particular job. Send it out. The app allows you to put videos on the app that are independent of your ATS, independent of YouTube or anywhere else. It's just your video, no messaging around it, right? Have your recruiter take a short video of why that position is interesting or why that company is interesting, right? A short video. It works so well on the app, and it costs you nothing, and there's no other, suggested videos you have to go to, so they won't see your competitors or anything like that. Little things like that you can do that we just get from experience that work really well. And we think, most firms should do this stuff anyway.
Wow. Again,
is that the wave of the future, John? This is the wave, man. It's
no doubt. It's
here again, now.
If you're not playing, you might achieve a level of success, but you won't achieve the highest level of success that you might, and you're going to be left behind a little bit because, again, the candidates are going to flock to platforms and companies that make it easy for them to do business with them, to find work. And the easier you can make that experience and the more pleasant you can make it, then the more they're going to do it and they're going to spread the word. Yeah. And there's diminishing returns today with where you used to promote your jobs, right? ZipRecruiters aren't as effective as they used to be, right? Indeed isn't as effective as it used to be for you. So they're trying to go to social media sites, which is really difficult to navigate. Right, they've got to learn how to market on Facebook. It's not, you can't just post on Facebook, right? You've got to go through some effort in doing it right, posting in the groups and posting. Now you've got to know social media marketing in order to do a good job marketing to social media. But you've got to find other sources to get candidates in. And then when you get that candidate in, you've got to keep them. You've got to keep posting them. You've got to be able to hire them. So that's the real benefit of the app is mining your own candidate pool and then expanding on it. I think is key for mobile.
And you hit that right on the head, Rick, because I deal with this every day. The younger generation is not jumping on Indeed and job boards. They're on social media. That's where you're going to find your younger workforce these days.
Yeah.
And with an app like this, it's gold.
Yeah, agreed.
Johnny, any final thoughts about what's going on with StaffUpApp? Man.
Great product, Rick. I wish you nothing but success with it. It's a solution. Again, if recruiting firms or companies in general do not have something like this already, hopefully they have a strategy for implementing something like this, because otherwise it's definitely going to be something that if you don't have it, you're going to be left behind, and you're not going to be getting the candidates that your competitors are, because it's all about the candidate experience. And I love that you said that, Rick.
I agree. Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome, Rick. So tell everybody out there where they can reach you at, and any final thoughts for you, Rick, on recruiters and staffing firms, why they should check out a demo from you? Because I'm just saying, I'm excited about what we just talked about in the last 30 minutes.
I'm not saying it's the tip of the iceberg, but there's a lot more to the system. But we covered, mostly the tip of the iceberg and more, a little more. There's a lot more to our system. It really can be uncovered in a demo and we do a discovery session. We understand what exactly you're doing, how you're marketing, where your pain points are. And then we can kind of talk to you about how the app specifically solves that. So I'll just go to our website, StaffUpApp.com. There's a book a demo link there. There's more information about the things we provide. Just take a look. I think there's a lot we can offer, but we're more than willing to take the time to understand your specific industry and needs, and then tell you exactly how the app will suit you or not. If it doesn't suit you well, we'll tell you, right? But if we understand the way you're staffing and your pain points, I think we can help most staffing firms.
There it is. And I got 2 words for you guys: app and text. The candidates will come then. That's it. Simple. 2 words. Real quick, John, Rick, is it going to be at Staffing World?
Excellent. We will see you there.
Have a booth there, so that's going to be awesome. Can't wait to meet you guys in person. Man, but at the end of the day, people, check out this solution. I'm telling you, it's something that's new. Even though it's been out for 3 or 4 years, you got to change, man. People's got to change out there. But this is something that's exciting. We're going to put all the information down below. But till next time, hey, Rick, once again, thanks a lot real quick, buddy. I'm so excited. I can't even say anymore. It's just like, this is something that's the wave of the future. Just figure, don't you want your company to have their own app where they just click it right there on the phone and candidates can just apply that easy? I mean,
and rather than develop it in-house internally and spend all that money, it's a faster and more efficient solution to get a company like Rick's that has the technology already developed and then just cater it to your platform.
Absolutely.
Remember, simple thing. John's going to laugh at this. Easy equals employment.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I always like my words like that, but it's simple.
I like it. Keep it simple.
Hey, once again, thanks a lot, Rick. We'll see you next time on another Staffing Sharks Review It. Take care, guys.
Thanks again, guys.
Take care.